And we welcome you to New York Yankee baseball. Nice doubleheader Sunday afternoon, May the 21st, 1978, from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's the New York Yankees taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. On the mound for the New York Yankees today in Game 1 will be Ed Figueroa. On the mound for the Blue Jays in Game 1 will be Tommy Underwood. Let's go ahead and give you the starting lineups as the umpires have exchanged. Mickey Rivers leads off in center, followed by Willie Randolph at second. Third in Game 1, Reggie Jackson bats fourth and right, Lou Pennell in left, Chris Ellis at first, Greg Nettles at third, Cliff Johnson behind the plate, and Bucky Dent at shortstop. For the Blue Jays, Rick Bosetti leads off in center, Bob Baylor in right, Roy Howell at third, John Mayberry at first, Tom Hutton in left, Sam Ewing again at DH today, Rick Cerrone behind the plate, Dave McKay at second, and Luis Gomez at short. Yankees come in with a record of 20 winners of their last two games, while the Toronto Blue Jays are 13-22 losers of the last two games. This is Game 1 of a doubleheader, and both games will be broadcasted right here. And again, like I said, we'll be playing with the automatic system today because I don't want to roll 2 hours of gameplay here on the same network. So we'll go ahead and have they give us our results. I'll go ahead and run the New York Yankees like I. Let's go ahead and get some baseball here for you. So the Blue Jays take the field. It's going to be Hutton, Bosetti, Baylor, left to right on your radio dial. Howell, Gomez, McKay, Mayberry, Cerrone behind the plate, and Tom Underwood on the mound. Tom Underwood comes in with a record of 2-2, 6.29 ERA. 62 hits over 49 innings, 25 walks, 40 strikeouts. Surprisingly, he's only given up one home run. Let's go ahead and get us into action here. Tommy Underwood, in his starts so far, he won his opener of the year, and then he pitched 7 1/3 on a no decision, 8 1/3 lost, 7 1/3 no decision, complete game, 9-inning game where he gave up 6 hits and 3 runs. 2 were earned. He lost where he only went 2 1/3 innings, and last start he went 6 1/3, giving up 3 runs. Mixed bag. Underwood's had a couple bad starts, and he's had a couple good ones. The Yankee lineup again with Munson catching, with Munson DHing, along with Cliff Johnson is your catcher. Could make for a very interesting game, as Cliff Johnson is not your best catcher out there. 3 in it. So let's go ahead and start some baseball here from north of the border. Scoreboard in your right-hand corner. We'll go ahead and verify as we go on. Red Sox are playing the Tigers. Red Sox are looking the sweeping pace of the American League East. Here's Mickey Rivers. He'll lead off hitting .231, 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. And I've been doing some math already. Mickey Rivers so far is 2 for 8 in the series. So Underwood looks left-hander to Mickey Rivers in the left-hand hitter's box. Here's the first pitch. This will be a line drive for Rivers in the gap. That's going to be trouble. It's all the way to the wall. Rivers will go to second. He's going to use those feet and go to third. He will be standing. Leadoff triple for Mick. Starts it off with a leadoff triple. Wow, good start for Mick against the lefty. Here's Willie Randolph. He's 5 for 10 in the series. Underwood from the stretch. Toronto is going to play back for give up the early run. Here's the pitch from Underwood. And that is going to be a line drive, base hit for Randolph. Rivers scores. Yankees take an early 1-0 lead. So an early 1-0 lead for the Yanks. Now, let's see if Randolph wants to steal second. Here's Munson. Munson on the series so far is 1 for 11. He's a designated hitter today. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center. Bosetti is there, makes the catch, and there is one out. Here is Reggie Jackson. Reggie so far in the series, 5 for 10. He's hitting 338, 11 home runs, and 35 RBIs. Underwood from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Jackson. And the striker is Lou Piniella. Boy, is he having some year. 4 for 9 in the series. Still doesn't qualify for the league's leading in hitting, but he is hitting 376, a home run, and 21 RBIs. Underwood from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And another line drive. This time, Luis Gomez comes up with a sparkler. Yankees going to run on 2 hits. They strand one. 1-0 Yanks. We go to the bottom of the first. So for the Yankees, Jackson, Nettles, Dent, Randolph, and Chambliss, Cliff Johnson behind the plate, and Ed Figueroa on the mound. He's 5-1, but a high ERA of 5.23, 53 hits over 43 innings, 16 walks and 14 strikeouts. He pitches the contact, and he's only given up 2 home runs. Let's take a look at Ed Figueroa a little bit and see how his numbers have been going. So on his last start, we can tell you he went 7 2/3 innings, giving up 7 hits, 2 were earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. And he's won. He's on his last 3 starts. His worst start of the year was back on the 21st, where he went 2 1/3, giving up 7 runs over those innings. So he's been pitching well, sometimes to a high ERA. Bosetti, the batter, hitting 268, a home run, 14 RBIs. Figueroa with the windup and the pitch. And that's a ground ball back to Figueroa. He's got it. Throws the Chambliss for a quick out. Here's Bob Baylor hitting runs, 8 RBIs. One of the veterans that came off the expansion rosters. So Figueroa with the windup. Here's the pitch to Baylor. And that's a ground ball to short. Hit at Dent. Got it. Gobbled it up. Throws it out. And no, does not get it. Oh, he threw it in the dirt. Chambliss cannot dig it out. And that is an E6 for Dent. So E6 for Bucky Dent. Baylor on. And now you can run a little bit. That's a +1 to the first number for Baylor. Let's see. Here's Roy Howell hitting 244. No home runs, 9 RBIs. Figueroa from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball hit in the center field. Mickey Rivers is there, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. Here is John Mayberry hitting 273, 9 home runs, 21 RBIs. Average day here in Toronto. Singles are 1-11. Home runs are 50-50, 1-10. Figueroa from the stretch with Baylor taking a lead off first. Here's the pitch, and there goes Baylor. He's running, and he's out, thrown out by Cliff Johnson. Threw a bullet down to Willie Randolph. Tag is made, and he's thrown out. Toronto's inning is over. They don't leave anyone on base. It's 1-0 Yankees going to the second. Here is Chris Chambliss. He's hitting 294 on the year. In the series, he's 4 for 8. He's 3 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Underwood for the windup. Here's the pitch to Chambliss. 1-8 base hit. Chambliss. Boy, his bat just continues to be hot. Here is Nettles, 24 RBIs. Nettles, 3 for 8 in the series. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Nettles. And that's going to be a double play ball. McKay, Gomez, back to Mayberry. 4-6-3. 2 outs. Here's Cliff Johnson hitting 327. 1 home run, 7 runs batted in. Cliff Johnson so far in the series is 1 for 2. A little bit in the opener on Friday night. Cerrone puts down the target. Tom Underwood from the windup. Here's a pitch to Cliff Johnson. Ground ball to first down. Oh, he kicks it. The turf ate him up, and Cliff Johnson will beat the throw. And that's an E3 on John Mayberry. He's a very good first baseman, but that time the turf ate him up, and that is an E3. So a 2-out error puts Johnson on board. Here is Bucky Dent. 1 for 7 in the series. His average down to 295. 2 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Underwood from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Dent. And that's going to be a line drive base hit for Dent. Big hit for Johnson at second. And the Yankees got two on and 2 outs. And it brings up the red hot Mickey Rivers. Big hitter here, tripled to start the game and scored. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood from the stretch. First and second, 2 outs. And the pitch, fly ball to right field. Baylor is there, makes the catch. Yankees strand 2, 1-0 Yankees going to the bottom of the second. It'll now be John Mayberry, followed by Tom Hutton and Sam Ewing. Johnson puts down a long windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball. Ooh, that's going to be a base hit on Reggie. That's down the line. And that will be, a single. And Jackson misplayed it. Goes to the wall. Mayberry not good foot. He'll go around second. Jackson with the throw. Mayberry stands up at third. That is a single and a 2-base E9 error. So Jackson misplays one. The second error for the Yankees today. And here is Tom Hutton, Yankee run. Hutton has had a good series, I would guess. Let me look at Tom Hutton a little bit. Every Tommy Hutton's getting on base, he's making that E.F. Hutton comment stand up. He seems to get on base enough. He is 3 for 8 in the series. Mayberry on at third, nobody out. Johnson puts down the signs. Figueroa from the stretch. And there is a walk, and he's on base again. Third, nobody out for Sam Ewing. Still looking for his first hit. 5 at-bats, no hits. On the disabled list after Friday night's game, he's no longer on my roster. Johnson puts down the sign. Figueroa from the stretch. First and third, nobody out. And the pitch is a walk to Ewing, and the Bluejays have loaded the bases and nobody out for the young catcher, Rick Cerrone. 268, a home run, 10 RBIs. Yankees will play the infield back. They'll turn 2 to give up a run here. Johnson puts down the target. Figueroa looking from the stretch and the pitch. And there's a line drive base of Hutton will go to third. Will stay right there. Toronto ties this game at 1. RBI knock for Rick Cerrone. 1-1 tie with no outs in the second. So here is Dave McKay. 271, 3 homers, 11 RBIs. Johnson puts down the target. Figueroa from the stretch. Bases loaded. Jays here. Full nest of Jays. Fly ball right field. Let's see what happens. Jackson will get it. Hutton can run. They're going to try to throw for Hutton. Jackson with a strong throw home. Cliff Johnson, a nice barrier, and he blocks the plate, and he is dead to his rights. Why is Toronto going on a 55% chance with the nest loaded? And now the Blue Jays have 2 outs with runners at first and second. To me, that was a very aggressive call for no reason. Here's Luis Gomez hitting 261, no homers, 7 RBIs. Figueroa from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Gomez. And that's going to be a catch X. That's Cliff Johnson. On Cliff Johnson, he dropped the ball in play. The bases will be loaded, and the Yankees have their third error of the ball game. We're just in the second inning. The nest is loaded with Jays. Bases loaded. 2 outs for Bosetti. Billy Martin must be beside himself. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1-1 tie. Johnson puts down the sign. Figueroa from the stretch. The pitch to Bosetti is a fly ball to center. They're going to get out of this. Rivers with the tie game at the end of 2, 1-1. But the Yankee defense is just plain awful. 1-1 in the third. Yankees with 3 errors through 2 innings. So now Randolph, followed by Munson and Jackson. Randolph a leadoff knock, knocking in Rivers the first time up. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood with the windup and pitch to Randolph. Fly ball to center. Bosetti will coast over, make the catch, and there's 1 out. Here, Cerrone puts down the target. Underwood looks in, the left-hander, and the pitch to Thurm. 5-4, there it is. Line drive deep to left field. Could be trouble. Back goes Hutton. It is gone. Thurman Munson has just hit a huge home run. He'll come around second, gives the big high 5. He looks at Jackson and nudges him, and Munson. Hey, Thurman Munson, this bud's for you. Home run, Thurman. Yankees take. Wow, what a ball game. And let's see what's going on here. Brown Wolves Gaming, how you doing? How you doing, bud? Welcome into the stream of a doubleheader between the Yanks and the Jays. 2-1 Yanks. Munson with a line drive deep to left field. Takes Underwood deep. Yanks with the lead despite the defense. Here is Jackson. He's 0 for 1. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood lefty to lefty matchup. Pitch to Jackson, and Jackson sends the ball deep back. Oh, he makes a great catch into the wall. Oh, doctor, what a play by Bosetti. Throws the ball back in, 2 away. That was a home run, 1-10, 14 on the number. Jackson robbed in right center by Bosetti. Here's Piniella. He's 0 for 1. Underwood looks in with the big windup and pitch to Piniella. And that's a ground ball back to Underwood. That's going to be trouble for him. He's a 4E36 and an error on Underwood. He could not make the play. And now the ball game. Holy cow. Piniella will reach. That's an E1. And now here's Chambliss, who's 1 for 1. Cerrone sets the target. Underwood from the stretch. Runner first and 2 out. Pitch to Chambliss. And that's a strikeout looking for Tom Underwood. 2-1 Yanks. We go to the bottom of the third. So now here is Bob Baylor, followed by Howell and Mayberry here in the third. Johnson puts down the target. Ed Figueroa on the mound. 4-4. Ground ball to third is Nettles. Let's hope he can make the play. He's got throws out, and a good play by Nettles. 1 out in the third. Here's Roy Howell. He's 0 for 1. Johnson puts down the sign. Ed Figueroa doesn't throw hard again, doesn't break a plane of glass, but he throws the contact. Figueroa throws sliders, fastball, and not a heavy fastball. Figueroa with the pitch to Roy Howell. And Howell hits a liner. Oh, Randolph just reached out and got it. Good throw, good play by Randolph with that one as he came crashing down on the turf. 2 outs in the third. Good play by Willie. Single 1-10. Gets it on the 12. 2 outs in the third. Here's Mayberry. 1 for 1. Single reached third on the air. Figueroa with the windup. Here's the pitch to Mayberry. And that's going to be a liner. That's a base hit. This time it gets past Denton Randolph. Seeing eye base hit for John Mayberry. He's 2 for 2. And with 2 outs, it brings up Tom Hutton. Hutton steps up. Johnson sets the target. Figueroa, Tom Hutton. And that's a walk. Again, second time the 5-10s bit him. First and second, 2 outs. And again, here is Sam Ewing. He did not shoot JR. He walked his first time up. Johnson behind the plate. Figueroa from the stretch. 2 on, 2 outs. Pitch to Ewing. And that's a ground ball to short. Dent to Randolph for the fourth. And that is the third inning. Blue Jays do not score. We played 3 here in Toronto. First game of a doubleheader. It's 2-1 Yanks. 2-5-2 for the Blue Jays. Let's go ahead. Yes, I heard about that, and I was amazed. Now I'm waiting to hear the why someone of that age and was not a crash, was not an auto accident. So what killed them will be the pondering question. 2-1 Yanks. Let's go to the scoreboard real quick. White Sox over the A's 2-0. A's playing much better. They are chasing the Angels. Royals 3, Twins 0. Brewers 11, Angels 1. Angels coming down to earth. Tigers 4, Red Sox 1. That's some good news. Orioles and Indians no score. 3-1 Reds. Phillies and Mets 0-0. Montreal over the Pirates 1-0. Cardinals and Cubs no score. Texas over the Mariners 5-4, while the Giants lead the Dodgers 2-1. And the Astros over the Braves 7-1. So let's continue. Here's Nettles. He's 0 for 1. Cerrone puts down the sign. Pitch. And ground ball short. Gomez up the middle. He's got it. He'll throw. Good play there by Luis Gomez. Here's Cliff Johnson. He's 0 for 1. He got on Mayberry's error. Cerrone puts down the sign. Tom Underwood with the windup and the pitch. And that's a fly ball to center. Bossetti's been busy, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. Here is Bucky Dent. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Cerrone puts down the sign. Tom Underwood looks in. 2 outs in the 4th. Here's the pitch. And that's a strikeout for Tom Underwood. Good inning for Tom. We go to the bottom of the 4th here in Toronto 2. Rick Cerrone will bat, followed by McKay and Gomez. Cerrone, a Seton Hall graduate, so he's a local product. Johnson puts down the sign. Eddie Figueroa on the mound, pitching in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch to Cerrone. And the ground ball to short, Dent's up the middle. He's got it, looks to throw. Oh, he does, and he throws over Chambliss's head. That will go into out. Chambliss will have the 2nd, and the Yankees have their 4th error. Keystone Cops are the Yankees today. Cerrone on the 2nd, and oh brother, as Toronto needs to take advantage of these mistakes. It was an infield hit. It was Dent should have ate it. He didn't, and he threw, and it skipped past Chambliss, allowing Cerrone to get the 2nd. So here's McKay. 0 for 1. Johnson sets the target. Figueroa from the stretch and struck him out. Here's Luis Gomez. He's 0 for 1. Bossetti in the top of the order comes up next. Johnson sets the target. Figueroa looks back at Cerrone. Not much speed. Here's pitch to Gomez. And pop the 2nd. Randolph taps the glove, makes the catch, and Cerrone stuck at 2nd with 2 outs. And now here's Rick Bossetti. He'll need some 2 out. He'll need some 2 out magic. Doesn't hit that well in the clutch. Again, Bossetti hitting about 264 on the season. Johnson puts down the sign. Figueroa ready. And ground ball to first. Hit at Chambliss. Does he get it? He comes to the bag himself and takes it. No runs, no hits, another error. We played 4, 2-1. Keystone Cops. 2, 5, and 4 for the Yanks. 1, 4, and 2 for the Blue Jays. Good Lord. I prefer both. I will play the card game as much as I can, but I don't have a great setup to play it, or I'd be playing a lot of cards and dice on my channel. The computer one, which I do like a lot. Top of the 5th. I mean, there's always Stratomatic Max, but let me tell you, Stratomatic PC, Windows, plays so much better than Max does. And that's personally my opinion, no one else's. 2-1 in the 5th, 2, 5, and 4 for the Yanks, 1, 4, and 2 for the Blue Jays. Cerrone puts down the sign. Rivers 1 for 2 with the triple. Here's a pitch, lefty-lefty matchup. And there's another one. Rivers rips it in the gap. Will split it. Rivers will have a double. Stay split to get the ball back in. Runner on 2nd. Nobody. A lead-off double. So Rivers with a double to start it here in the 5th. And now here's Randolph. So Rivers with a good start today. Cerrone puts down the target. Underwood from the stretch. Runner on 2nd and nobody out. And there's a line drive base hit for Randolph. Rivers will go to 3rd. Has to hold there. Bossetti gets the ball back in. 1st and 3rd. Yankees in the 5th. So Munson the bat. And Toronto will bring in. Want to skip the run at the plate. So Rivers with great speed. We'll see if they allow stolen base for Randolph here. And he's going to try it. And the throw is in the 2nd. So Willie steals 2nd unattested. That's what happens when you hold the runner on. You give the runner at 1st a free base. Randolph steals it. 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out. Now here's Munson. Infield in. Anything on contact, they'll come home. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood from the stretch. 2nd, 5, another one. That's hit to the gap. Munson in the gap. Rivers will score. Here comes Randolph. He will score. Munson with a big double and 2 RBIs. So Munson with 3 RBIs. So despite the defense, the Yankees will lead this game 4-1 in the 5th. Here is Jackson. He's 0 for 2. Cerrone puts down the target. Underwood working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Jackson. And That's a strikeout for Underwood for out number 1. Here's Cerrone puts down the target. Tom Underwood working from the stretch. Yankees now holding a 4-1 lead. Pitch to Piniella. And there's another line drive. Oh, what a play by McKay. Munson had a hole, but McKay made a great play. Possibly saved a run. 2 outs in the 5th for Chambliss, who's 1 for 2. Cerrone puts down the target. Lefty-lefty matchup for Underwood. Here's the pitch to Chambliss. And that's a strikeout for Underwood. Good job. Yankees get 2 in the 5th. Bottom of the 5th inning. So bottom of the 5th, Baylor followed by Howell and Mayberry. Johnson now behind the plate. Ed Figueroa looking in. Bottom of the 5th inning, a 3-run lead. Here's a pitch to Baylor, 0 for 2. Ground ball to short. Dent's got it. Good throw to first, 1 away. Here's Roy Howell. So Ed Figueroa having a big inning, big game. If he stays in there, Yankees will love to get 9 out of him. Johnson puts down the sign. Figueroa looks full. And that's going to be a drive to right field in trouble. Jackson back, makes the catch. He brought it back. Good catch by Jackson. He had it at the top of the warning track, 2 away. Home run 1 to 10, roll to 14. So 2 outs in the 5th. Here's Mayberry. He's 2 for 2. Johnson puts down the sign. Ed Figueroa looks in, and the windup to Mayberry, and a struck him out. Figueroa got him looking. We played 5 here in Toronto. 4-1 Yankees. 4-1 Yankees. Give me 1 second here. And now here's Nettles in the 6th. 4-8-4 for the Yanks. 1-4-2 for the Bluejays. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood looks in. Lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch to Nettles. And ground ball to short. Or no, that's a foul ball down the left field line. And foul. Nettles to short. Gomez got it. Throws to first. And 1 quick out here. Johnson, he's over 2. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood looks in, and the pitch to Cliff Johnson. And that's a ground ball to short. Again, that's Gomez. Makes the play, and there's 2 quick outs. The Yankees not making anything easy this one. They're just grounding quickly to Gomez. Here's Bucky Dent, 1 for 2. Cerrone puts down the sign. Tom Underwood looks in the 6th inning of work. Back to Dent, and Dent hits a line drive. Oh, Roy Howell went to his left, makes a diving catch at the bottom of the 6th. 4-1 Yanks. 4-8-4 for the Yanks. 1-4-2 for the Blue Jays. Hutton followed by Ewing and Cerrone. It will be Jerry Garvin taking on Ken Clay in the nightcap. Johnson puts down the sign. Ed Figueroa on the mound for his 6th inning of work. Here's the pitch to Hutton. And that's going to be ground ball to first. Chambliss takes it to the bag himself, and there's 1 quick out. Here is Sam Ewing. He's 0 for 1 with the walk. Johnson puts down the target. Ed Figueroa wind-up pitch to Ewing, and that's a walk. 3rd time today. Ed Figueroa bitten by that 5-10 walk. Here is Rick Cerrone. 2 for 2 today with the RBI. Johnson puts down target. Figueroa from the stretch. Pitch to Cerrone. And he's got a big one. That's in the gap. That's going to be over Rivers' head. He played it too deep. Ewing will try to score. Oh, my. 1-12 coming home. He's safe. So Sam Ewing came around 3rd. He's not in time. So the Blue Jays get 1 back on a double in the gap. Cerrone stayed at 2nd. And it's 4-2 Yankees. So Sam Ewing came around 1st, scored him on a double. And here's Dave McKay, who's 0 for 2. So big opportunity. Johnson puts down the target. Figueroa from the stretch. Blue Jays are threatening here. Here's the pitch to McKay. And that's a line drive Randolph. Cerrone off the base and Randy inning. A line drive double play. Blue Jays score, run in the 6th. We go to the 7th. It's 4-2 Yanks. Game 1 of 2 here from Toronto. So 4-8-4 for the Yanks. 2-5-2 for the Blue Jays. Rivers followed by Randolph and Munson here in the 7th. Cerrone sets the target. Tom Underwood in his seventh inning of work. Toronto should be happy getting 7. Here's Underwood, pitch to Rivers. And that's a ground ball to first. Mayberry takes it to back. Here's Randolph, 2 for 3. Underwood with the windup and the pitch. 1-7 fly ball center. Bossetti will coast over and make the first catch. 2 outs in the 7th. Here's Munson, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs today. Cerrone puts down the target. Underwood looks in and the windup to Munson. And Munson line drive, base hit Munson. He's 3 for 4. Good game for Thurman. Getting the half day off today and DHing. Runner on first and 2. He's 0 for 3. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood looks in. Lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch to Jackson. And that's a strikeout for Underwood. We go to the 7th inning stretch here in Toronto. 4-2 Yankees. So here we go. 4-2. Gomez followed by Bossetti and Baylor. Ed Figueroa stays out there for the Yanks here in the 7th. Johnson sets the target. Ed Figueroa looks in, and the pitch to Luis Gomez. Oh, Figueroa again. That's his 5th walk. 5 walks and 2 strikeouts. Sparky Lyle up in the Yankee bullpen. Here's Rick Bossetti. He's 0 for 3. Johnson puts down the sign. Figueroa from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Bossetti, and fly ball to center. Boy, he just missed his pitch. Rivers coats over, makes the catch, throws it back in, and Gomez stays at first. Here's Baylor. He's 0 for 3. Johnson puts the sign down, wiggles his Figueroa in the pitch. 6-7 popped it straight up. Randolph will wait, make the catch, and there's 2 outs in the 7th. Boy, Figueroa making his pitches. Here's Roy Howell, who's 0 for 3. Johnson sets. Figueroa from the stretch. Runner on first and 2. Out pitch to Howell. And that's a walk to Howell. And the Bluejays got 2 on and 2 outs in the 7th. And now here's a tough John Mayberry. 3 more lefties to come. Ewing. Billy looking in. He wants to come out. He'll call timeout. Here comes Billy. Figueroa not happy with this situation. We'll look and see what Sparky Lyle has done. Ken Clay is the pitcher coming out for game 2 of this game series. 1 for 2, 2.86 for Sparky. Hits has been 41 base runners over 28 innings, so he has been touched. But with all these lefties coming up and everything else, does Figueroa want to get something else out there? And Lyle, he'll point for the lefty, and that's all. Figueroa's not happy about it. So Sparky comes in. He'll make his first appearance of the series as here comes Sparky. 1 and 2, 3 saves, 2.86 ERA, and he'll pitch to the tough lefties to come. Hill looks in. Here's the pitch. The job. Good slider by Lyle. He gets the guy he needed. We played 7 here in Toronto. 4-2 Yankees. So good job there. And Figueroa not looking happy in the dugout. Talking to puts on the target. Underwood looks in. Top of the 8th. 4-9-4 for the Yanks. 2-5-2 for the Blue Jays. As we go into the 8th inning, it is Tigers. Red Sox look to increase their lead in the American League's Eastern Division. Cerrone puts down the target. Underwood, left-hander to the right-handed hitting Piniella. 2-7 ground ball to short. Gomez has got it. Goes to first. 1 out in the 8th. Here, Cerrone puts down the target. Underwood looks in, and the windup to Chambliss. Nice job here. 2 outs in the 8th inning, keeping the game close. And here's Nettles, who's 0 for 3. Cerrone sets. Underwood 2 outs in the 8th and walked him. So he walked him. Now here's Cliff Johnson. This is where you want a right-hander here. A big situation here for a right-handed pitcher. Will Hartsfield will Roy Hardisfield, the manager of the Blue Jays, keep Tom Underwood out here and pitch the close? I'd probably give him a righty right now. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood from the stretch. Let's see what happens. Here's the pitch. And struck him out. Tom Underwood pitches a strong 8 innings, 4-2 Yankees, heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Let's just make sure everything is going right here in the control center. We'll take you back to action here. It's Tom Hutton, Ewing, and Cerrone. This is where Blue Jays should employ. Not going anywhere. See, and they'll pitch to Hutton, and the pitch. Ground ball to third. Nettles got it, throws him out, and one quick out in the 8th. So now here's Sam Ewing. So with one out, Johnson sets the target. Ewing does hit home runs versus lefties. Yikes. Lyle looks in, gets the sign and the pitch, and got one. Son of a bitch. Deep drive, left center field. It is gone. Sam Ewing hits a drive in the right center field, and the Blue Jays are back on the board. It's 4-3. So Sam Ewing, damn, that's one of those low guys who's in this game for no reason besides an as-played lineup. Ewing on the season batted 56 times with 2 home runs, and that card showed it. That power versus lefties for no reason. Wow, bang and gone. So he hits it. It's now 4-3. Lyle looking dejected. Gossage is ready for 3 with a double. Johnson sets. Lyle looks in and the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive. The Dent retires the side. We'll probably see Gossage in the 9th. 4-3 Yankees going to the 9th. McKay followed by Gomez and Bosetti. Remember, game 2 is still to come. Jerry Garvin, the lefty, takes on Ken Clay, the righty, for the Yanks here in game 2 of the doubleheader. 4-4 tie still between the Red Sox and the Tigers. Johnson puts down the target to McKay, and he popped a second. That's going to be 1, and there's 1 away. Here's Bucky Dent with 1. He's 1 for 3. Underwood looking to do a complete game here. Cerrone behind the plate. Underwood with the pitch to Dent, and there's a line drive in the gap. That's going to go scoot to the wall. Artificial surface to the wall. Dent around second. He's going to lose his helmet. He's going to try for third and makes it. So Bucky Dent gets the third. So a big starter. Jays are going to have to bring the infield in to stop this run. Here's Mick. He's 2 for 4, the triple. Cerrone puts down the sign. Underwood, lefty-lefty matchup. Runner on third, nobody out in the pitch. Base hit left field, Mickey Rivers. Dent will score. Yankees take a 5-3 lead. Big time stolen, big time hit for Rivers. So now here's Randolph, 2 for 4 with the RBI. Cerrone sets. Underwood from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Randolph. The Yankees bringing their backs out again. Here comes Rivers, and he'll go to third. First and third, nobody out, and that should do it for Tom Underwood. He just went an inning too long. Here's Munson, and now I'll probably bring out the Blue Jays manager, Hartsfield. That should be all. And he does, and he'll bring in Tom Murphy. 1-0, 4 saves, 2.59 ERA, a right-hander. He'll pitch to Munson. The infield has been brought in. And here's the pitch to Munson. And Munfield, Hutton is back, makes the catch. Here comes Rivers, trots home and scores. Sacrifice fly for Munson. 6-3 Yankees, 1 out in the 9th. Here's Reggie, 0 for 4. Cerrone puts down the sign. Murphy from the stretch in the pitch. And that will be Dave McKay, a robbery on that one. And that is your second out. What a play by Dave McKay. Here's Piniella, 0 for 4. Murphy looks in. Randolph at first, 2 out, 5 the Howell. And it is a save situation. Yankees 6, Blue Jays 3. Well, Sparky Lyle, does he stay out there? I think it was Billy Martin here. I think you go to Gossage. So they're going to need a bullpen game out of the next one. I'm not sure how long Ken Clay's going to give you for game two. But Gossage, 1 and 2, 10 saves, 1.48 ERA, 15 hits over 24 innings, a 3-run lead. Here's Luis Gomez. Let's see if he bats. He won't. It will be Andy. Ashby on the year, 269, 2 homers, 7 RBIs. Johnson puts down the sign. Gossage with the windup to Ashby. And ground ball the second. Randolph throws him out. And there is your first out. And here's Bosetti. Johnson puts down the target. Gossage looks in the windup to Bosetti. He's 0 for 4. Ground ball to first. Chambliss in the hole. Could be tough. He looks over, and it's an infield hit for Bosetti. Goodness gracious. Chambliss got it, but Gossage was not steady, and the Blue Jays now have some life. Here's Baylor. He's 0 for 4. Average diminishing. This is where you look for something else, but I don't think they'll go away from Baylor here. He's 0 for 4 in the ball game. Johnson puts down the sign. Gossage from the stretch. Runner on first and 1 out. Pitch to Baylor. And ground ball to short in the hole for Dent. Can he turn 2 to end this? And no. Ow, no. It's a base hit. Dent got it. Came up with it and tripped. That's an infield. The tying runners to the plate. Holy cow. And here's a guy looking for his first home run, a very tough Roy Howell. 0 for 3 of the walk. Gossage struggling a little bit. 2 on, 1 out, game 1 of a doubleheader. The Red Sox with 5 runs late, lead 9-4. Goodbye, Detroit. They're going to sweep the Tigers out of Tiger Stadium. Johnson puts down the sign. Gossage from the stretch. First foul. And fly ball to center. Rivers, does he make the catch? Tough play for Rivers. He does make the catch. 2 outs, and here is the test. John Mayberry, RFD, 280, 9 home runs, 21 RBIs. Decent day to hit home runs here in Toronto. Does Gossage go fastball here to Mayberry? 2 on, 2 out. Gossage known to be stubborn. Mayberry sits on a fastball. This game could be tied. Gossage from the stretch. Looks in. Here's the pitch. And that's a ground ball to second. Randolph's got it. Flips it to first. And Gossage will get himself out of this jam and get the first game of the doubleheader with a save. Yankees scored a run in the first, a run in the third, 2 in the fifth, led 5-1. Blue Jays fought back a run in the sixth, a run in the eighth, 6-12 in a 4-error game for the Yanks. 3-8-2 for the Blue Jays with 6 2/3 innings. I don't think he was happy about it. He's 6-1. Lyle with a hold. Gossage is 11 save. Underwood goes 8 innings, probably an inning too late. Gives up 6 earned runs in 12 innings, and he goes to 2-3. We'll have the second game of this doubleheader in a moment. Let me go ahead and say what we have here. So I have record. So it's going to be Yanks and Jays doubleheader, and do some editing with that when I need to. Let's go ahead and end this one. Go to the second game, folks. We'll see who's playing and who's not when it comes to the doubleheader. Let's go ahead, go to the second game of this doubleheader. Let's find out and see what we have here. Clay and Garvin, second game doubleheader from Toronto. All right, for the Yankees, Houston will play both ends. He'll catch in game 2. Randolph, Pinella, Chambliss. Nettles, Johnson will play both. He'll DH in game 2, followed by Dent. On the mound is Ken Clay. On the mound for the Jays, Jerry Garvin. It's Bosetti, Baylor, Howell, Mayberry, Hutton, Ewing. Again, McKay, and again, there's that young catcher. Alan Ashby will catch, and Luis Gomez is your shortstop. Let's get to Toronto. Let's go ahead and switch. I don't like the ballpark they give me in this game. Let's go ahead and switch it. 279 is the ballpark. So we go ahead and switch to a better looking ballpark here in exhibition. Wow, the Boston Red Sox came all the way back, unless they blew it in the ninth. We're up 9-5. So with that stadium pop up for everybody and get started. We're at 45 minutes. We'll probably be about an hour and a half-ish. Play the computer version instead of me rolling dice in this one. So again, same basic lineup. Those things have switched around a little bit. So Mickey Rivers will lead off, hitting 245, He has 5 doubles, 5 triples, 3 homers, and 14 RBIs. Jerry Garvin on the mound, 2-3, 7.02, 63 hits over 42 innings. Not so good for Jerry. And same alignment. Hutton, Bosetti, and Baylor. Howell, Gomez, McKay, and Jerry Garvin is your pitcher. Lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch from Jerry Garvin. And that's a fly ball to center. Bosetti is there, makes the catch, and that is your first out. Here's Willie Randolph. He's hitting 269, 2 homers, 12 RBIs. Ashby sets the target. Garvin, the lefty, the pitch to Randolph. And a pop to short. Gomez is there, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. Not a bad card for Jerry Garvin, to be honest. Here's Munson, and the second half, and it's definitely not as good hitting environment. 1-9 for the singles, 1-6 on the home run. So second game of the doubleheader, the weather has worsened here north of the border. Garvin looks in and the pitch. Munson with a great first game doubleheader, hitting 299, 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Garvin with the pitch to Munson, and he struck him out looking. 3 up, 3 down, go to Yanks. No score. We go to the bottom of the first inning. So here's Rick Bosetti. He'll lead off, followed by on the mound. Still it's Pinella, Rivers, and Jackson, followed by Nettles, Dent, Randolph, Chambliss. Munson now behind the plate, and Ken Clay's 0-2, 5.40 ERA, making his first start, 24 hits over 18 innings. We'll see what kind of distance Ken Clay can give me. Clay to Bosetti and the pitch. 1-5, ground ball to third. Nettles got it, goes to first for the out. The thing I worry about Ken Clay, he is a 5R in balance, which means his left side really is not good. I got to really pitch really well to these lefties, and they have like 5 or 6 of them in this lineup. Munson puts down the target. Clay looks in. Here's the pitch to Baylor, and the easy out for the second out. Here's Roy Howell and RBIs. Clay with the windup and the pitch. And that's a ground ball to second. First, and got him. Easy inning for Ken Clay. No score doubleheader. Here's Jackson hitting 327, 11 home runs, 35 RBIs. Garvin, lefty-lefty matchup, and the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit center field. Reggie with a big starter hit. And here's Lou Piniella down to 358, home run, 21 RBIs. Garvin here, lefty-righty matchup. Piniella looking to take advantage. And fly ball to left. Hutton will back up a step, make the catch. Jackson holds, 1 away. Here's Chambliss hitting 293, 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Ashby sets. Garvin, lefty-lefty matchup, and the pitch. And that's a pop to first. Mayberry waits, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. And here's Nettles, 261, 8 home runs, 24 runs batted in. 2 outs in the second. Lefty-lefty matchup. Jerry Garvin in the pitch. There's Mayberry's there, makes the catch, and we go to the bottom of the second. No score here in Toronto. So John Mayberry steps up. He'll be followed by Tom Hutton and Sam Ewing. Munson sets. Ken Clay looks in. Here's the pitch, and now you got to be careful. The pitch, base hit Mayberry. Boy, Clay's card against lefties is rough. So Mayberry's on. Here's Tom Hutton hitting 262, 2 homers, 7 RBIs. Clay from the strike. stretch and the pitch. Looks like it's a hit and run. Fly ball the back, and he does one away. So they get a break there. Here's Sam Ewing. He did shoot JR in game one, had a home run. He's 1 for 7, 1 home run, and 1 RBI. Clay looks in, runner on first and 1 out, and he picked him off. Let's see if he does. So Mayberry got picked off. Let's see if he does get picked off or not. So look at his statistics. If he doesn't get picked off, he doesn't. He does on a 10. He gets the lead on a 5. Picked on a 10, which means Mayberry goes to second. They off with the tag, and there's 2 out. Why is John Mayberry far off the bag? Here is Ewing. Clay with the windup, pitch to Ewing, and that's a walk. Jesus. So Clay does not need to do that. Here's McKay. 254, 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in. Munson puts down the target. Clay from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be ground ball to second. Randolph's got it in the hole. He'll go to second, makes the play. And the second inning is over. No score. Yankees and Blue Jays. Game 2 of a doubleheader here in Toronto. Clifford, Johnson, Heathcliff, followed by Dent and Rivers. The bat here in the third for the Yanks. Johnson so far hitting .304, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Garvin with a windup, pitch to Johnson, and that's a walk to Cliff. So Cliff is on base. Here is Bucky Dent. Dent's hitting .301. His bat has been so good. We're not going to even try to bunt with you. Ashby's in the pitch. And that's a double play ball. Hit hard. Gomez, McKay to Mayberry. Taylor made double play. 6-4-3. 2 outs in the third. Here's Mick. He's 0 for 1. Ashby sets. Garvin, lefty-lefty matchup to Rivers. And that's a ground ball to first. Mayberry in the hole. Tough play for John and tosses it over to Garvin covering. Great play. We go to the bottom of the third inning. No score here in Toronto. It is Yankees, nothing. Ashby, Gomez, Bossetti, the bat for the Jays here in the third. Munson sets the target. Ken Clay working in his third inning of work. Here's the pitch to Ashby. And that's a pop-up behind the plate. Munson's got it. Comes over, makes the catch. Good play by Munson. Reached the glove out and made the play 1 away. Here's Luis Gomez. Kind of how he ended the 1978 World Series. Munson sets the target. Clay with the windup and pitch to Gomez. And ground ball to short. Dent and gets him for out number 2. Boy, Ken Clay getting outs. And here's Bossetti. He's 0 for 1. Both teams only getting 1 hit so far. Munson sets. Ken Clay with the windup. Here's a pitch to Bossetti. And Bossetti line drive base hit up the middle. It was scorched. Randolph couldn't get it, and Bossetti is on. Let's see, with a -2 on the first number. Let's see what Bob Baylor does. 2 outs. Munson sets. Clay from the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to be a base. Going to throw for Bossetti. He'll hit the third easy. First and third, 2 outs. Good job by Bossetti. Rounding second and going to third. First and third, 2 outs. And now here's Roy Howell. He's 0 for 1. Clay can't make any mistakes here now. This is where Clay gets hurt by the left-handed hitters. Munson sets the target. Clay working from the stretch. First and third, 2 outs and the pitch. Ground ball to short. Hit at Dent. Does he take the easy way? Goes to first and gets. We played 3 here in Toronto. No score. Yankees nothing. Blue Jays nothing. Second game of a doubleheader. Willie Randolph the bat. He'll be followed by Munson and Jackson here in the fourth. Ashby sets. Garvin looks in. The windup to Randolph. And fly ball to center. Bossetti will come over, make the catch, and there's 1 away. Here's Munson. He's 0 for 1. Ashby sets, puts down the target. Garvin looks in. Great first game of the series. Line drive right to Dave McKay. Played it perfectly, and there's 2 outs. Here's Reggie. He's 1 for 1. He's looking for that typical Reggie power we haven't seen this series. Ashby puts down the target. Garvey lefty matchup and the pitch to Jackson. And fly ball to center. Bosetti is there, makes the catch, and we head to the bottom of the fourth. No score here north of the border. Mayberry follow Hutton and Ewing. So Clay in his fourth inning of the question. Ken Clay is a 5, so he will start losing some of his luster next inning. Clay, the right-hander, to the tough inning Mayberry. Here's the pitch. Foul out behind the plate. Munson will throw the mask, make the catch. Good play by Thurm. 1 out in the fourth. Here's Tom Hutton. He's 0 for 1. Munson sets. Ken Clay looks in, and the pitch to Tom Hutton. And that's a ground ball to first. Chambliss, he'll take it to the bag himself. He does, and there's 2 out. Ewing walked his first time up. Munson puts down the target, wiggles the fingers. Ken Clay looks in right-handed to the left-handed, hitting Ewing. And the pitch is a line drive caught by Randolph. Easy play. We played 4 north of the border. No score. Yankees nothing. Toronto nothing. Yanks 0-1-0 against Jerry Garvin, while the Jays are 0-3-0. Folks, this is the second game of my doubleheader. Please like. Please subscribe if you haven't. Love to have you continue to support my streams. I appreciate you all coming in and watching. Top of the fifth, it's going to be Piniella, Chambliss, and Nettles as we look at the New York Yankees schedule. After this doubleheader in Toronto, they'll be off tomorrow, which is Friday. They'll return back in action. We will play Saturday night, and that will be, I believe, a Tuesday night at the stadium where they'll play the Cleveland Indians, and then they'll be playing the next 2. They'll get the Toronto Blue Jays back again for another 4 next weekend at home. So stay with us for more New York Yankees and this 1978 to the day replay as we go into Memorial Day. Ashby puts down the sign. Garvin with the pitch to Piniella. And Piniella with a base hit. Blue needed that one. Runner on first and nobody out. And here is Chambliss, who's 0 for 1. Ashby sets the target. Garvin, lefty matchup. Pitch to Chambliss. He needed that one. Piniella will go first to third. Yankees now in the top of the fifth inning. First and third, nobody out. So now here is Nettles, 0 for 1. Toronto bringing the infield in. They'll come home. Anything hit at them. Ashby sets, lefty matchup, Garvin to Nettles, and the pitch. And there's a base hit center field for Nettles. Piniella will score. They'll hold the runner at second, and the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. Big RBI for Nettles, first and second. And I believe Jerry Garvin's time will almost be out of here, I believe. He's probably a 6 or maybe a 7. He's a 6. So he'll still have another inning left, but it looks like his time is going down here. Ashby sets, Garvin from the stretch. First and second, nobody out. Pitch to Cliff. And that's going to be ground ball back to Garvin. He's a 2-0. Could have a double play. Yes, he does. 1-6-3. Big double play for Jerry Garvin. Chambliss will go to third. 2 outs for Bucky Dent. Yankees lead 1-0. Chambliss on at third. Ashby sets. Garvin looks in from the stretch. Pitch to Dent. And that's a strikeout for Garvin. Good job there. Yankees do get a run. We go to the bottom of the fifth. 1-0 Yanks. 1-4-0 for the Yanks. 0-3 Jays. McKay, Ashby, Gomez for the Blue Jays. Munson sets the target. Clay, the right-hander. Here's a pitch to McKay. And struck him out. Big strikeout for Ken Clay. Here's Ashby. Munson sets. Clay looks in, and the pitch to Ashby. And a base hit for Ashby. Boy, left-handers against Clay. Brutal. And here is Gomez now. Right-handed hitter. Bottom of the fifth inning. 1 out. Munson sets. Clay looking from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Gomez. And that's a ground ball to first down to Chambliss. Does he get a double play out of this? He does. He goes to short. Over to first. Double play. Good job by Chambliss. 3-6-3 inning ending double play. 0 for the Yanks. 0-4-0 for the Blue Jays. Rivers, Randolph, and Munson, the back for the Yanks here in the 6th. So Jerry Garvin out for his 6th inning of work, possibly his last inning. Ashby sets. Garvin looks in. Lefty match up to Rivers. And he hits a liner caught by McKay. Nice job. Had him played perfectly. 1 out in the 6th for Randolph. He's 0 for 2. Ashby sets. Garvin looks in. The wind up to Randolph. And that gets something done here. Will he try and maybe get a stolen base option? Nope, he cannot. Garvin goes over, keeps him close. Munson 0 for 2. Ashby puts down the target. Garvin from the stretch. Pitch to Munson. And a ground ball to third. Hit at Howell. Tough play for Roy. And that's a base hit. Goes through. So Randolph will go to third. Stays right there. 1st and 3rd Yankees. And a big hit for Munson. He went to the right side. Howell cannot get to it. And now the Yanks with an opportunity try to play a double play ball for Reggie here. Reggie steps up against the left-hander Garvin. The Blue Jay bullpen is ready. Ashby sets. Garvin from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And a ground ball to second. Can McKay get out of this inning? The throw? No. He can only go to short. Jackson legs it out. Yankees lead 2-0. Fielder's choice for Jackson. And it's 2-0 Yankees. Here's Piniella, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Jackson on at first. Jackson lefty to the righty hitting Piniella. Here's the pitch. And that's a strikeout for Garvin, and he survives the 6th inning. Yankees get a run. It's 2-0 Yankees going to the bottom the 6th inning. 2-5-0 for the Yanks, 0-4-0 for the Blue Jays. Here's Bosetti, followed by Baylor and Howell in the bottom of the 6th inning. Munson sets the target. Clay looks in, and the wind up to Bosetti. Pop to second. Randolph backs up. Make has been effective. Only 4 hits through 5 1/3. Clay with the windup and the pitch to Baylor. And that's a base hit for Baylor. He's 2 for 3. 5th hit for the Blue Jays. First right-handed hitter, I believe, gets the base hit. And here's Roy Howell. He's 0 for 2. Again, Yankee bullpen is now up and ready. Munson sets. Clay from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And there's a liner base hit. Baylor first brings up Mayberry. And I think it's all she wrote for Ken Clay. 5 1/3. Gossage and Lyle are both there. Holtzman, I've used him before in short relief. 3 lefties coming up. Let's bring in Holtzman here. He may just have to get me out of damage control. So Ken Holtzman is brought in for the Yankees. 3-1, 7.71 ERA, 20 hits over 16 innings. It's over 4 innings, and 4 strikeouts. So not good. So he has been a struggle. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Mayberry just wanted to turn Mayberry around here. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Munson sets the target. Holtzman from the stretch. Pitch to Mayberry. And that's a pop to first. Chambliss is there. Makes the big play. Holtzman with a huge pitch. 2 outs. So now here is Tom Hutton. He's 0 for 2. But he still hits lefties effectively. Holtzman from the stretch. Pitch to Hutton. And line drive. Hit the dent. Makes the play. And Ken Holtzman, the guy who came in from the Oakland Athletics, the Chicago Cubs, pitched all those big games for the A's, makes a big contribution for the Yankees in the 6th. 2-0 Yankees. We go to the 7th. So Chambliss, Nettles, Johnson in the 7th. 5-0, 6-0 for the Blue Jays. Ashby puts down the sign. Lefty Garvin, 3-8 line drive deep to right field. Back goes Baylor. It's back. Makes a catch. Not enough travel. And that's 1 out in the 7th. Here's Nettles. 1 for 2 with the big RBIs in the ball game. Came back in the 5th inning. Ashby sets. Garvin with the windup to Nettles. And fly ball to right. That will be Baylor. He'll come in and make the catch. And there's 2 outs. Here's Clifford Johnson. 0 for 1 with the walk. With the Yankees off day tomorrow, they can definitely go him. Ashby puts down the target. Garvin looks in. Here's the pitch to Cliff Johnson. And struck him out. We go to the 7th inning stretch here in Toronto. 2-0 Yankees. 2-5-0 for the Bombers. 0-6-0 for the Jays. Sam Ewing with that stupid card against lefties will bat, followed by McKay and Ashby. I'll go ahead and leave them out there here. So Holtzman will see if he can get me through the 7th. Left-handed Holtzman, the Ewing. Far makes the catch, 1 out in the 7th. Good job. Here's McKay. He's 0 for 2. He kind of likes lefties, so it's kind of a good matchup for him. Munson sets the target. Holtzman looks in. Here's the pitch to McKay. And he hits a drive to the gap. That's trouble. Rivers is not going to get it. Plays against the wall. McKay around second. He's going to head to third and does standing. A 1-out triple for Dave McKay. So now your problem here. One, Ashby doesn't hit lefties. This is where you get someone else out there who can hit, in my opinion. Let's see. Otto Velez just says, gimme, 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 or give me Rick Cerrone here. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Otto Velez has not been used in this series. So Holtzman will wait. We'll see what happens. He has too much stuff. Holtzman is done. Here comes Billy. He's not going to let this, he will not let this finish. On here in the 7th. Let's bring Lyle out again. No game tomorrow, so might as well bring in your relievers again. Lyle back in, 1 and 2, 3 saves, 3.03. 36 hits over 30 innings, 6 walks. That's 42 base runners, 30 innings. High whip, but with a runner on third and 1 out, will pitch to Ashby. Let's see if they pinch hit for him here. And who has come into my chat? And Duke, come on. I think Otto would come in, but Otto was not brought in, I don't think. Let's see if you predicted it, my friend. Let's see if they, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's bring in Otto Velez. He'll bat for Ashby here. I'll make the manual change. Thank you for calling that. I'll go ahead and bring Otto in. Otto hitting 367. He only got 248 bats that year for Jays. 2 doubles, 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. He's got power. So we'll see if Sparky Lyle from the stretch. Lyle looks in. Here's the pitch to Otto Velez. And walked him. And the Jays got first and third with 1 out. So now Luis Gomez, the batter. Again, not much of a hitter at all. But you don't want to waste the entire bench here. And Tim Johnson gives you a little more on the on base. Well, you need to switch off Ashby anyway. So Rick Cerrone will come in. Again, I'll overjump the computer here. Want to give it a fair game. So Cerrone will hit for Lyle. We'll hit for Luis Gomez. He'll stay in and catch. They'll move somebody else in the play short. If they're, we're going to the bottom of the 7th, you're going through your bench now. Munson sets. Lyle trying to get out of this. First and third, 1 out, pitch to Cerrone. And ground ball to third. Nettles got it to second. Back to double play for the Yanks. They turn it and get out of the 7th inning. Great job by Lyle. We go to the 8th. 2-0 Yanks. 2-5-0 for the Yankees. 0-7-0 for the Blue Jays. So Jerry Garvin in his 8th inning of work will come in. Yankees with a 2-run lead. Cerrone sets. Let's see what they did. Cerrone will catch. Bob Baylor. Wow. They really went to extremes. I guess he didn't have any other choice. Tim Johnson, he would have been a much better decision. So let's, do you want to keep the bat and Otto in the lineup? Ooh, I mean, you're going to get Gossage at some point. Oh, Lord. So let's put Baylor back and right. Sorry, we're not going to do that. Tim Johnson will be used. That was an incorrect call by them. So shortstop is Tim Johnson, a little better shortstop instead of having Baylor out there. Let's go to the A's. 0-7-0 for Toronto. Dent followed by Rivers and Randolph. No, he's not. He's not in. He's not on the roster yet. This is 1978. Left on the Blue Jay bench right now is Willie Upshaw and Doug Alt. They're your remaining guys on the bench. Cerrone puts down the target. Garvin with the pitch to Dent. 5-5 fly ball to center. Bosetti comes in, makes the catch. 1 out in the 8th. Here's Rivers. Yes, expiration. Cerrone sets the target. Garvin, the left-hander, to the left-handed hitting Mick. Pop to second. McKay will be there. Calls off Mayberry and out number 2. Here's Randolph 0 for 2 and a run scored. Cerrone sets the target. Garvin looks in. Left-hander to the right-handed hitting Randolph. And that's a liner caught by Tim Johnson with a nice play. 2-0 Yankees. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 2-5-0 for the Yanks. 0-7-0. Second game of the doubleheader. Bosetti fouled by play long. These are guys who should be in there. Lyle will again stay in there. It's gonna be righty, and a bunch of lefties. Again, not what Gossage really wants, but I guess he'll have to get back-to-back saves, so I need him. Munson sets Lyle to stay in there. Here's the pitch to Bosetti. And ground ball to second. Randolph's got it. Goes to first. And there's 1 out in the 8th. There's Baylor. 2 for 3 in the ball game. Munson sets. Sparky Lyle looks in. Pitch. And that's a base hit for Baylor. He's 3 for 4. Blue Jays again bring the tying runner to plate. Base hit number 8 for the Jays. And now here is Roy Howell. He still possesses enough power against lefties to swing away here. He'll swing lefty matchup. Munson sets. Lyle from the stretch. Runner on first and 1 out. Pitch to Howell. And a base hit to left field. Baylor will stop at second. And the Blue Jays bring the tie. Again, it comes to this man. Big John Mayberry. 1 for 3 in the ball game. Hitting .279, 9 homers, 21 runs batted in. What has John done for us so far in this series? Let's look at John, and we'll kind of figure out together what's happening. So far, he has played 6-11. He's had 16 at-bats with 5 hits, 3-5, and he's won. So he's 6 of 19 in this series. First and second, 1 out. Munson sets the target. Lefty Lyle looks in. Here's the pitch to Mayberry. And base hit Mayberry. Baylor will score. Howell will go to third. It's 2-1 Yankees. And now here is Tom Hutton. So Tom Hutton comes in. E.F. Hutton, as they say. We'll see what the Yankees do here. Billy should bring out third 1 out. Yankees will play the infield. They'll play the infield back. You know what? I'm not going to. I'll play for the double play for Hutton here. Left on left. Lyle looks in. First and third, 1 out. Needs to get a double play here. The pitch. Line drive right at Randolph for the second out. Now here is Sam Ewing. I am going to cheat. Gossage, because I'm putting Ewing on his right-hand side. He has a real size card they made him, and I'm going to switch him around. Gossage in. He'll get the long save and put Sam Ewing on a side where he's not going to hit me for a home run. Oh, he has one opportunity, a 1-5. So Gossage comes in his second time this game. 1-2, 11 saves, 1.42 ERA, 17 hits over 25 innings. Gossage from the stretch. First and third, 2 outs, big opportunity. Or do the Blue Jays go with something? Well, it wasn't that good that year, though. Let's see. Who is this? All right, okay. Now, my friend, Mr. Dude, would you like to see Willie Upshaw bat for this guy named Sam Ewing? Is that what you want me to do? I'll give you a second to answer. I do let my chat sometimes manage from the chat. If you want Upshaw to bat, I will bat for him. Left-handed pitching. That's why I went to Gossage. But now I'll go ahead. I'll put him in there. Do you want Upshaw to hit for? Do you want Upshaw to hit for Ewing or let Ewing hit her? The only other option is Doug Alt. He's not much better. Ewing would probably give you a better opportunity, but Upshaw would be a little bit better. Put in a young Willie Upshaw, another Yankee product, I believe. So Willie, the designated hitter. Willie hitting 250, 44 at bats, a home run, and 4 RBIs on the season. First and third, 2 outs, left-handed hitter. Blue Jays doubling up the Yankees and hits 10-5. Munson sets the target. Gossage from the stretch. First and third, 2 out, pitch to Upshaw. 1-8, pops to second. He choked in the clutch. Randolph with the catch, and the size retired. It was not a clutch. That was a base hit. It was clutch, and that is a pop-up. Blue Jays get a 1. He's heading to the top of the ninth. 2-5-0 for the Yanks, 1-10-0 for the Jays. Munson, Jackson, Piniella, and does Garvin stay out there? He's been out there so far, going to 9 innings. Cerrone sets. Garvin, the left-hander, pitch to Munson. And that's a hit by pitch. Garvin hit Munson. Munson will take first. So now the question, Jerry Garvin. Let's see who the Blue Jays have in their bullpen. You know what? I'm gonna go righty or a couple lefties. Let's see. Let's maybe go to Mike. Maybe go to Mike Willis here. Bullpen isn't bad, so we'll bring in Mike Willis here. He'll pitch to Jackson. Lefty matchup here, like Garvin was, but Willis a little more stronger. Cerrone sets the target. Willis from the stretch. Runner on first, nobody out. Pitch to Jackson. Ground ball back to Willis. He's a 3. Yes, it is. Good play by Mike Willis. Turns around, throws it to Johnson. Back to Mayberry. 1-6-3. So 2 outs in the ninth for Lou Piniella. He's 1 for 3 with the run scored. Cerrone sets. Willis looks in now. Left-hander to Piniella. And that's going to be a line drive. Base hit in the gap. Over Bossetti's head. Piniella with a double. So a 2-out double for Piniella. And now here is Chambliss. He does hit well in the clutch. So 1 for 3 so far for Chris. Cerrone puts down the sign. Mike Willis looks in. Runner on second and 2. And the pitch popped it straight up. Mayberry's there. Makes the catch. And let's head to the bottom of the ninth inning. Yankees 2, Blue Jays 1. 2-6-0 for the Yanks. 1-10-0 for the Jays. It will be McKay, Johnson, and Cerrone. Only Doug Alt remains on the Blue Jay bench. So Gossage comes out looking to get his second straight save. Gossage looks in the McKay. 1 for 3. And walked him. And here we go with Gossage and his control. Oh, brother. So McKay goes the first. And he can hold runners on, which is good. So McKay is on. Tim Johnson, a hit. He's 0 for 10. Oof. Who do you go with here? 301, 217. Nope. The better hitter is Tim Johnson. Let's see. Do we even... He is a bunt. He could go. Yankees are... Well, 1-run lead. You know what? We'll play the corners in. Make Tim Johnson a C and bunting if he wants to bunt. So he's a left-handed hitter without a base hit. Munson sets the target and Gossage looks in. Gets the sign from Munson. Here's the pitch. And ground ball back to Goose. Goes to short. No double play needed as Johnson will beat the relay throw. So runner on first and 1 out. And here's Cerrone, 0 for 1 since coming in the game. On deck is Bosetti. Munson sets. Gossage looks in from the stretch. Runner on first and 1 out. Can Gossage get this big save? Here's the pitch. 1-9, fly ball to left. Piniella waits, makes them. The Blue Jays are down to their last egg. So Tim Johnson's on at first and 2 outs for Bosetti. 1 for 4 in the ball game. So Gossage looking in with a big sneer. Munson gives him the sign. Gossage tells him to flip off. You know what? Gossage, a fastball. Runner on first and 2 outs. Last call for the Jays. Gossage from the stretch and the pitch. Struck him out. That's your ball game. The Yankees will sweep this doubleheader, the second game, by the score of 2-1. So Ken Clay goes 5 1/3, gives up 6 hits, gets the win. Holtzman gets a professional hold with 1 good inning. Lyle goes an inning and a third, 3 hits, 1. Gossage gives me 4 outs, a walk and a strikeout. Yankees are off the next day, so they're able to use their same high leverage guys. Garvin goes 8 strong innings, loses it. 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Yankees scored a run in the 5th, run in the 6th. Blue Jays scored in the 8th. 2 6-0 for the Yankees, 1 10-0 for the Jays. Yankees go 23-14. The Blue Jays drop to 13-24. Big hitters for the Yankees. Piniella 2 for 4 and a run. Bob Baylor 3 for 4 runs scored. Howell was 2 for 4. Mayberry was 2 for 4 at the RBI. Anything extra, let me give you before we finish. Double by Piniella, triple by McKay, RBIs by Jackson and Nettles, Mayberry for the Jays. Let's go ahead and save this. Again, we do have an off day tomorrow. So if we do have a stream tomorrow night, may actually be a second game, maybe in the Strat. We'll look at the schedule, see what is also on there. So give me 1 second. I'll go ahead and get this going here. I'll let you know what could be on the schedule for tomorrow. 5:21. Save that. We're good. Oh, I wanted to save. All right, let's see. Go to that. I like that save better. I'm going to resave it, I think. I like saving stuff. Again, save. We'll just go ahead and redo it. Yep, it's good. All right, let's look at the standings here. Red Sox came back, swept the Tigers, almost certain. So let's see. Red Sox at 26-13, 1 ahead of schedule. They are now 2 games ahead of the Yankees, who did sweep that series with Toronto. They won 3 out of 4. I won all 4. They're 23-14, and they are 2 games back. The Orioles are 3 back, while the Tigers are getting wasted away at 15-29 back, thanks to the sweep by the Red Sox. The Angels have a 1-game lead over the A's. Expos a 1-game lead on the Phillies, while the Dodgers hold a 4 to get late quick for National League West. Let's look at the schedule for tomorrow. I'm not sure if that was Memorial Day back in 1978, 5/22. Probably not. My guess it was May 29th, because there's a full schedule on the 29th of this month. And that will be a lot of doubleheaders like they used to have. Yankees will be in Cleveland that evening. So, and again, a lot of teams playing doubles. So 1978 was the 29th. My answer is there. But playing tomorrow is going to be Monday, the 22nd of 1978. 5 games are scheduled. Boston and Toronto, Dodgers and Padres. That could be a big series. The Dodgers waste them away. Pirates and Expos might go there. That's Rooker and Rogers. Braves and Reds. Royals and Mariners, and the Rangers and the Twins. Well, folks, I hope everyone has had fun. Starting pitchers did avoid Clancy on that 4-game series. Blue Jays are struggling as a young second-year team in baseball. Let's see if we can find out a little more information on Mr. Jim. Let's give you some statistics on the Jays. We'll see what we can give you, sir. Hope you have subscribed and will stay along. Jim Clancy is 0-5. He is struggling, but 2.49 ERA in 6 starts, 42 hits over 47 innings. He's only given up 2 home runs in his 6 starts, but he has not yet won a game. So Clancy, unfortunately, he's been struggling a bit, but he has not won yet. So maybe this time he'll get the big win. Yeah, Steve Rogers. So yeah, I might show Pirates and Expos tomorrow, and anything else I may want to have on my channel. I want to thank everyone for coming in. This has been a great. I had a couple new people here. Please come back. I appreciate everyone here. Hope everyone has everything else. I thank you, sir. Again, let's gotta say goodbye the right way. ENKA dude, thank you, sir. Appreciate coming in. Brown Wolves M1G, thank you again for being here, of course, and everyone else who subscribed and being a part of this broadcast tonight. Again, it's been fun. We'll talk to you soon, probably tomorrow night, as we'll continue the 1978 daily 1978 Stratomatic replay right here. I am Sports Time Machine.